Welcome to Heart and Soul with Claudette. Happy to have you guys. I am super excited to be here. I have special guests with me today. I have Michael Sledge, who is the CEO of the Sledge Group, Inc., and the co-founder. And I also have Deborah Sledge, who is the co-founder and COO of the Sledge Group. And I also have my young guest, Earl Osby, who's an 18-year-old, and he's a part of the Real Men Mentoring Program. Welcome. And I also have Kayla Jimenez. She's almost 13, I want to say that. And she's a part of the Sister United Mentoring Program. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
How are you? How's everybody doing?
Outstanding.
Great, thank you. How are you?
I am just awesome. I'm happy that you guys are honoring me with your presence and joining me. Just extremely excited to have you here with me. And I am just beside myself. Michael Sledge, there is so much about you that the world does not know. And I am happy that you chose this platform to talk about all the things that you do. Please introduce yourself to all the folks that are watching us and have graced us with their presence. Tell folks who you are.
Hi, I am Michael Sledge, Chief Executive Officer for the Sledge Group, Inc. And I just want to thank you, Claudette Rose, for believing in yourself and what you do and allowing us to be your guest tonight. It is our honor and our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for accepting my invitation. And alongside, next to a great man, there's always a great woman. And I have the honor and pleasure to introduce to you a powerful sister that I am telling you guys, I just can't wait to really connect more with her. I just feel like I know you, Deborah. I feel your spirit. I feel your soul. And I just love all that I feel when I talk to you. Tell people who you are and how important you are to Michael Sledge and to the Sledge Group.
Greetings. Thank you so much for that powerful introduction. And you know, I'm on the same line with you. We're all connected. We just don't know it yet. We haven't met each other yet, but we're all connected. So I am and the co-founder and chief operating officer, of the Sledge Group Inc., running the Sisters United program. Because without a good man, with a good man, you need a good woman. And so they have the balance.
And alongside Michael and Deborah, I have two young people that I am just in awe of. I met them a couple of days ago, and I just feel that they're going to do wonderful things for us when we're no longer around. This is our future. I want to introduce you to Earl Osby. How are you, Earl?
I'm doing good.
For those who are watching, tell people who you are and tell people a little bit about the mentoring program that you are a part of at the Sledge Group.
So as it was already stated, I'm Earl Osby. I've been a part of Sledge Group for going on 2 years now. I've been connected through a lot of different programs, such as the internship that I've gone with New York Life, the life insurance company, with a Mr. E. Mark Lewis.
Okay.
And I've joined Mr. and Mrs. Sledge with their Thanksgiving Day meals right on 124th Street, right around the top mark, and their toy drives that they've done every Christmas. And all of those experiences have been really great for me in helping us building up my character compared to how I was to where I've become now in Sledge Group. It's two completely different people. I do not know where I would be without this program, actually.
Yeah, character building is always important because you matter and you're important. So let's just go over to beautiful Kayla. Kayla, Tell me a little bit about you, about how you feel in the program, what it has done for you. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've been in Sledge Group for like 2 years. I guess like 2 years,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I I really benefited from it. It showed me like my worth, and it showed that there's people I can talk to and people that care about me, and that there's people that look out for me and that I look out for them as well.
Mm.
Right. You're a family,
Yes.
Yes.
right? So, Michael, we're going to just kind of leave it right there. I want to go back to you because, again, you've done so much in the community, and I just want you to give us a little bit of your background. I know that your early days were in Harlem. Tell me about that. Tell me about, you know, where you grew up, what it was like. I just want a little bit of background so those who are watching can know a little bit more about you.
Okay, I'm definitely a Harlemite. Grew up on 143rd and 8th Avenue, Drew Hamilton Projects, one of the first families in the projects on 143rd and 8th Avenue. I think I was the age of 10 when my parents moved in. We've since moved on. Harlem has changed tremendously to me in terms of what it is now and how I grew up. We spent more time playing outside as kids. Education was still important to us and our parents. It's something they stress. They kept us busy with activities. My mother and father did in terms of doing things so I wouldn't go left in terms of doing the right things in life. It was more community, and I really miss it. And it kind of has a lot to do with the birth of the Sledge Group. We had extended family. I'm the oldest. My brother and I are 11 years apart, just the two of us. But the community stuff that we did in terms of activities, after school programs, I was a latchkey kid where I had to come home by myself because both my parents were working and let myself in. I missed the whole community thing, and it was like everybody looked out for everyone else's child in a lot of different respects. Grew up in the 60s in Harlem. I think I left Harlem somewhere in the 80s in terms of residing there. But it's just been a remarkable experience for me. And I just, in my spirit and my heart, there's a need to give back to my community. Like they say, you can't forget where you came from.
You never should. You really should not forget where you came from. So tell me something. A lot of people know you, Michael Sledge, from the Sledge Group, but they don't know that you have a couple of things under your belt. They don't know that you have, martial arts degree. They don't know that you've traveled the world. They don't know that you've been in the World Almanac for 5 consecutive years. Look, they don't know that the man, there's more to the man, Mr. Sledge. So tell us a little bit about that.
It was really out of necessity, being the only child and protecting myself on the streets. My dad put me in the martial arts at 10. I have 53 years in the martial arts in Sendoku and Shotokan karate. It's a life and that I still live in spite of, but it allowed me, it was my vehicle out. The education was imperative in my household, but the travel, I made the United States karate team in 1979, won 2 gold medals in the Pan American Games, 5 national championships, listed in the World Almanac, traveled internationally. In 2015, I got inducted into the Hall of Fame, but the travel was probably the best education that I received. The skill sets of the martial arts, which is incorporated in Sledge Group in terms of commitment, dedication, the discipline, the importance of elevation and progress. I've taken those same principles that I learned in the martial arts and applied them into Sledge Group, incorporated them. And that's what we teach our children, just some principles to live by. We are not a religious organization, but we're a highly spiritual organization. And when I think about my journey in the martial arts, Claudette, it was definitely spiritual in a lot of different ways.
I agree.
People think martial arts is kicking and punching, but the reality of it is there's mind, body, and spirit incorporated in that makes you a better person in life. I've been blessed. I've been truly blessed, you know, to see some things and do some things and go around this world. And I just like to share it with the youth in our community, because
I love that.
they don't get to see it.
So the Sledge Group was born from the necessity that you saw, the need in the community. Is that it? With you and
Most
Deborah,
definitely.
how did that come about? Tell me a little bit about that. How did that come about? Because of the need that you saw with the young people in general. Is that right, Deborah?
Yes, that's correct. And I'm a Queens girl. I grew up in South Jamaica, and I remember being 14, 15, 16 years old, and there were things that I couldn't have conversations about with my parents, right? You just
Right.
couldn't. And so a lot of the answers I got from my friends on the street, which were not necessarily the right answers. And so with us having our own children, a total of 8 of them altogether, we realized that if I needed something and my children needed something, then you know what, the population needs something too. And so we made a
Right.
decision to start something for the community and have a safe place for young people to go. Because I think that they need it. They need some place that they can have, that they can trust. They can have a family outside of the family and be secure and be safe in where they're at and get good information, and not the information that's just going to land them, you know, behind bars or dead or somewhere, but get solid, good information that's going to propel them forward in their lives.
Absolutely. And Deborah, you've got an amazing resume that I told you that you and I have to talk, because you've done so much and you are well-rounded, but not only that, you are grounded in faith. And that's what I love about you. I love that you are a certified coach. I mean, you do so much, and it's all geared towards helping the people in your community and building your community up to the point where we can level off. And that's the plan. You know, I'm a builder too. That's the plan, because it's all about our community. It's all about our people. I chose to do this platform because I believe there is no money anywhere with this,
Right.
but I just chose to do it because I'm a Brooklyn girl, people. I'm a Brooklyn girl, but I just feel my people, they're everywhere, and we're one in the same. And
Yes.
I just feel that if there's something that I can do, why not? And that's my objective. My objective is to help my people grow, is to help my people go to the next level and further. That's my
Absolutely.
objective.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, tell me, you're a certified supervisor of mentoring programs. Tell me a little bit about that, Deborah.
So when Michael and I first started the Sledge Group Mentoring Program,
Mhm.
um, we took a course with the Big Brothers Big Sisters in order to
Right,
get certified to do mentoring. And in doing
right,
that course, we realized that although they're a good organization, they didn't necessarily address the needs that we felt needed to be addressed in our community. So
okay.
we have the certification from Big Brothers Big Sisters. Also have certification from Cornell University with empowering families, because
Mm-hmm,
they go hand in hand. You work with the young
mm-hmm,
person, but you also work with the family collectively.
mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make sense to empower a young person and send them home and you haven't touched the parent, because we also do parent support and we also do tutoring, because it's a whole package. And so the
Awesome.
life coaching, the certification from Big Brothers Big Sisters, the certification from Cornell with empowering families, it just creates a whole package to be able to assist our people and knowing and believing who they are.
And you are a practitioner of Queen of Fua. I love that. I can't wait to talk to you about that. I love all that energy, and that stuff just does something to me. So, because I really work with energy. That's me. I'm in touch with myself in that way, and I always know when there's something that I need to stay away from, because I lead my life on energy and I feel it. It's
Right.
deep.
Absolutely.
And I saw that and I say, I just knew. That's why you and I connected, because I just felt that connection with you. And, this is awesome. And I want to talk a little bit about that. You and I will speak separate about that at some point, because I definitely want to have you on again, because this is important stuff. and it needs to be talked about. So Michael, tell me about how people, and Deborah, how people can become a part of the Sledge Group. What are the requirements? How can we do that?
We ask the young people to sit in a group with us, and let me emphasize this. For 20 years, Sledge Group has been running in Harlem. It's one of the oldest running mentoring programs. We never close our doors, but we do mentoring, parent support group, and tutoring for free. I'm going to say that again, for free. There's no application
For
fee.
free.
There's no membership fee. We have a very strong business model that allowed us to keep our doors open. You can do it online. You can call me or Deborah. But we asked the young people to sit in group at least once. Earl came through one of the mentors, and his mom was a friend of mine. Kayla came through my daughter, who's a school teacher, and through some girlfriends of Kayla's joined Sledge Group. And we emphasize, and the children named us the last house on the block, because it's a place where they can come and speak freely. What goes on in Sledge Group
stays in Sledge Group.
What goes on in Sledge Group
stays in Sledge Group.
Come on, Kayla, you smiling.
I didn't hear that, guys. Let me hear that. What goes on in Sledge Group?
Stays in
Sledge Group.
Which gives them that safe haven to talk about anything from A to Z and get some adult guidance, and a lot of times peer-to-peer guidance, because we've been running for 20 years. A lot of the young ladies started like Kayla when they were 13 years old, and now they're still in group 27, 28, 29. They're teachers, they're engineers, they're bankers, and they come back and help that peer-to-peer conversation to have. But the it's so easy. We're on social media on all platforms. We're on our website, sledgegroup.org. Our email is sledgegroup@AOL. The screening process is really not as difficult as people think it is. By the state of New York, we have to screen all our mentors. We pair at the end of the year. We do one-on-one mentoring and group mentoring as well. And with Zoom now, with the COVID-19, we're doing Zoom meetings. Earl and I was on a meeting 6 to 8 o'clock today, and the women's we'll meet on Friday from 6 to 8 on Zoom. And the beautiful part about it is we have young people who are now living out of state that can now join us for that group mentoring. I have a young man from Canada, another one from West Virginia. We're taking advantage of what's taking place in our community and in this world right now, to another degree, and staying safe at the same process.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you are a 503c group organization, is that right?
The 501(c) nonprofit.
501(c). Sorry, you're a 501(c) group, and not for profit. And like everything else, people, this is free, but in order to provide all the services that they provide to all our kids in need, they accept donations. So feel free to do that. And again, it's a 501(c) group. I myself will donate to the group because I love what you're doing. And I am going to donate so you can help these kids, because everybody who knows me knows that kids are my heart, hands down. Anything for the kids, I'm there. So I'm going to make a donation at the end of this program to your group. And those who are watching, you can too. If you have kids and you're looking for a program that you can enroll them in, please speak to Michael Sledge, or please speak to Deborah Sledge, because they have mentoring programs for young men and mentoring programs for young women. And now we're going to just make a switch and speak to the young people, because everybody is waiting to hear what the young people have to say. Are you guys excited? Kayla, Earl, are you excited?
Yes.
We're going to ask some questions now. We're going to get everything just revved up and get this going. So much has happened during this year. 2020 started out pretty calm, I think. And not even to the middle of the year, it got really rocky and rough. And, for everybody. Now, Earl, Deborah, and we've seen a little bit of this kind of stuff, not the COVID, but we have seen, discrimination and all that stuff in our lifetime, because we have a couple of years, we're just maybe 2 or 3 years older than you. So we've seen a little bit more. And so we kind of know what it feels like to be discriminated against, and we know what it feels like to be shorn, and we know what it feels like to not be welcome. So I want to ask you guys, when you saw, and this is a question for both Kayla and for Earl. Kayla, I'll ask you first. When you saw what happened with Mr. Floyd, how did that make you feel? How did you feel?
Honestly, that was like sad. Like that made me sad. It just like made me sad that someone could hear that someone screaming for their lives and then not do anything about it. And people are just around, and then the people that were on and the cops that were on and heard him. Like you can hear him. You can even hear him through the video, like saying, "I can't breathe," and they're just not caring. There was like 5-6 people on him. Just like that's like common sense, kind of like how can someone breathe if you're on top of them?
Right, because he was treated like an animal, right? Almost like an animal, like if he didn't matter, right?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel, Earl?
I was upset hearing the news.
Okay.
Because it's a shame that this stuff keeps happening. And so far before this, there wasn't that much change that was going on. There were people trying to advocate for change, but it didn't really feel like it was going as far as it should have. And it took this stuff to really make everyone realize, like, okay, this is not okay. Even in people in other countries realizing why are certain people being treated not as equal when everyone should be equal wherever you're from.
Right.
So question, were you or are you afraid for your life, Earl?
I still have the slight fear of seeing a cop in my neighborhood or when I'm away in another borough or uptown or downtown.
How does it make you feel?
It makes me upset because they're supposed to be the people that protect us and make sure that if something does happen, that they're the ones that are supposed to assure that we'll be okay whatever situation comes.
Have you talked about how you feel with your parents, with an adult?
I have, with multiple separate, whether it be in the sludge group or at home.
It's important to speak to an adult. It's important to speak about how you feel because it's, people, that's the only way you can, get it out because you're a young Black man and you're a future, and it's important for you to voice your feelings because you can't keep it in because it's not helping. And Kayla, have you talked about how you felt when you saw all that was happening? I know you're relatively young, but emotions are emotions or whatever age. So did you talk to an adult about it?
No, not really, because it's kind of like a touchy subject. Okay. My mom doesn't like me watching the news or anything like that to scare me. So she doesn't really like talking with us.
And what about, have you spoken to Deborah in the group or any of the adults at the Sledge group about it? Have you?
No, because
well, I would advise you to do that because it's good to just speak to hear other people's point of view. I know you've talked to your friends about it. You and your friends have talked, right? No, neither? Okay. Well, it would be good if you spoke to an adult, maybe at the Sledge group, just to hear what they have to say about it. Because it's important, because you both are a future, and it's important for you to express yourself because wrong is wrong, no matter how you slice it. And this was completely wrong. So it's important for you to voice your opinion and to find ways in which you can possibly make things better, to contribute to make things better for the future and for you. Have you thought about what does Black Lives Matter mean to you? Earl, what does that mean to you? When you hear Black Lives Matter, what do you think about?
It's everything, because it's
Uh-huh.
a sense of unity, a sense of pride for the skin that you wear, because regardless of what you change physically, regardless of what you change as your parent, you can never change your skin color. And so it's important to remember that.
Very good, brother. Very good.
And what about you, Kayla? What does Black Lives Matter mean to you?
I feel like when I hear the sentence, the phrase Black Lives Matter, it's like kind of like a cry for help. It's like I matter, like it's like I matter too. I have a life. I have family.
Exactly.
I have things that I want to do in life. And just because of the color of my skin does not mean that should stop me from doing what I love or doing what I need to do. Like it doesn't. It's just,
It's saying that you're important too, that you're
yeah,
also important and
basically.
you matter too. That
Yeah.
the way you think, the way you live, that
Your
you matter
opinion.
too. You want to be considered because your thoughts and everything else mattered. You matter as a person as well.
Yes.
So I was thinking, I know Kayla, you are heading to the 7th grade. Tell us a little bit about where you go to school and the school you go to. Tell me a little bit about that and how your experience at school is.
I go to Harvard Science Center's charter school,
Okay.
and it's like it's people there, like it's a little bit of everything, like
Okay.
in talking when we're talking about ethnicity and stuff. So it's not.
Good.
It's like it's kind of homey there. So it's like you can talk to anybody. You can talk about what's happening without like feeling like, oh, should I talk to this person about this topic, or so it's pretty
So
okay.
you've spoken about this at school.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
school you have. Okay. What are the sentiments of your peers? What do they say? What do they think? How do they think? What do they say? Just curious. Tell me one.
They feel very strong about it. Like they feel like this is wrong. Like this is like crazy that this is happening, that people are dying from this and like stuff like that. Like they just feel like they feel like their voice, they need to voice it as much as they can to like get it through, get the message through to be heard.
So maybe one of the things, how you can probably help, one of the things that you can probably think about is probably forming a group. You don't have to go out and protest if you don't want to, but maybe you can think of another way where you can, probably get signatures or do something where you don't have to go out, and you guys can form a group where you're doing something that is helpful to your community and helpful to them, what is at hand, what matters. Black lives, something to help us as a people. So think about that. That's your homework. So Earl, tell me about you now. I know that you just graduated high school. I'm excited about that. Cheers to you and bravo to you, because statistically, we as Black people, we're not supposed to amount to anything in some people's eyes, but that is not so. That is not the case. You are an amazing young man that is going to do amazing things, and you're going to do, go amazing places. So just tell me a little bit about what you did, the high school, and where you're going to. I'm excited for you. Tell me about that.
Well, the school that I had graduated from is Food and Finance High School. It's right there in Midtown on 50th Street. I originally pursued the culinary arts.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
After.
And so, go ahead.
Now, the next steps sooner, I actually have a separate call for college tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to John Jay Criminal Justice right there on 9th Street.
Oh, bravo, bravo, bravo. So what are you going to study at John Jay? You have an idea? What are you going to do at John Jay?
For John Jay, I want to pursue psychology. I want my master's in psychology.
Okay, you're going to pursue your master. Well, actually, you got to get your bachelor's first and then continue on. So, question for you, because we always plan, like people like Deborah and Michael and me. As people, things change, and sometimes you have to reevaluate the choices you make, and you have to have a backup plan. What's your backup plan if psychology does not work?
If psychology doesn't work, I can go back and pursue cooking because I've always been good at that since I was young.
Yes, he has.
Okay.
I've always been musically gifted, so I could potentially move into that field.
Wow.
So,
See, I'm telling you, we as a people, we're just amazing. And I'll tell you a little story. I have two children. I have my son, Gabriel. Hey, Gabriel, love you. Gabriel will be 27 years in less than a month.
Wow.
I have to make sure I say that because, he said, Mom, I'm going to be 27 soon. So I want you to know that it's in less than a month. He'll be 27. And when Gabriel went off to college, he went off to college and he was going to pursue a degree in, I think it was biology. I think that's what he was going to do. And so I always thought, because, we as parents, we always see things in our kids sometimes before they see it. And I always thought that he was very good with numbers. I thought he was amazing with numbers, but he said he was going to do that. Well, truth be told, he got there and he started out, and then he realized what he realized. He discovered the love of numbers. So he comes back and he says, Mom, I'm going to change my major. So here's a backup plan. He changed his major, which is amazing. So he did that. And then he graduated because he, from, a degree in accounting. And then he, with a minor in business law, then he went on to pursue a double master's.
Nice.
And he completed that. So he has a master's in business, in accounting, and a master's in business administration. Those are his masters. And again, it just goes to having backup plans and know what you can fall in. I think you're ready. I can't wait for the wonderful things that you're going to be doing, Earl. I'm really impressed and I'm really proud of you. And I'm going to be following up with Michael and with Deborah because I can't wait to see what both you and Kayla are going to do. So let me just ask you a few more things that I am interested in asking you. We spoke about Black Lives Matter. We spoke about the recent developments with George Floyd. We spoke about your feelings. You speak to your mom about the way you feel, and you spoke with with Michael about the way you feel about all that's happening, have you? Or in your group?
Yes, on multiple occasions, yes.
You have.
Yes.
So another question is, ever since that happened, is there anything that you started doing differently? I mean, because of safety reasons, is there anything you do personally to protect yourself? What do you do? Tell me about that as a young Black man in America.
I've grown more aware of my surroundings because being a Black man in America, there's a target on you for something simple as like wearing a hood or even simply just walking into a store and just looking around. So I've grown to notice if I'm being watched by a store clerk or watched by an officer to know to call, not to cause any potential confrontation or any problems, whether I be in my neighborhood or anywhere else.
What would you like to see different for your generation going forward? Because you guys are the future. What would you like to see different? What would you like the government to do different? What do you think can be done, or what can you do differently to prepare for your future? What can you do differently in terms of all that's happening today? Has this changed you?
It has. I'd say
Okay.
something to do about it. First, obviously is to speak about the police officers, like making sure people are aware that these things are happening, because not everyone uses their social media. They only see what the news will tell them, when not everything is told directly on them. There are other ways to fund the Black Lives Matter movement, and I've been doing my best to use my social media platforms that I use more frequently to promote Black Lives Matter, to make sure that the people that I know, that not everyone else may know, is aware of the things that are happening.
Yeah. So.
Are you doing anything with a group of peers to, for your voices to be heard? And I'm not talking only about protesting. I'm talking about something else, creating something where you guys as a group can do something and to be heard in preparation for, days ahead. Have you thought about that?
Well, something that some of my friends have been doing, they've been joining the protests.
Okay.
The best of their ability. There are a few family members that I haven't talked to in a while. I've seen them protesting, using their social media platforms to protest.
So tell me something else. We're going to shift gears because a birdie told me that you're an amazing cook. So when are you gonna cook for Miss Claudette? I'm gonna have to come to where you guys gather and you guys can fix me a meal so I can sit down and break bread with you guys and just chop it up with you. I'm just, I'm in awe. At 18 and you can cook? Oh my goodness. So tell me what's the favorite thing to make? What do you make that's your favorite dish?
It's something whether it be steak or I have a bunch of different favorites. I can't just choose one. I have a lot of different specialty dinners at home.
What's one of the favorite? What's one of the favorite that everybody is always asking for? Tell me something that people are always asking. Well, Earl, can you make this? Earl, can you make this? What is that? Your spaghetti and meat sauce?
Yes.
Yes.
That's actually what I made for the closing ceremony.
Yes.
For Sludge Group. I cooked for about 50 people.
Yes.
50 people? Yeah. Oh my God.
50 solo as well.
Well, that's awesome. So what, they cleaned their plates? Was there any left?
It was gone very quickly.
It was gone. So what did you make? You made the pasta and then you made the meat sauce, and did you have garlic bread and a salad? Tell me what you did. What you do?
I used about 2 entire containers of the spaghetti noodles, and then I've used 2 big
the pans.
10 pounds worth of ground beef with the ragu sauce, and as a little something that someone told me that they never thought to do but made it taste better, I put some sugar in with it to make it a little bit sweeter.
I always put sugar. Bravo. That's how I learned to make it too. I always put a little sugar, make it a little sweet. So they ate the whole thing. Did Miss Deborah and Mr. Michael, they kind of ate twice or 3 times? What they do? You can tell me. It's our secret. They're not listening.
Don't tell. That's our secret.
Yeah. So I love that you're doing your cooking. See, this is great. You have your cooking to fall back on. You have all these different things. You play music. I'm telling you, the sky is the limit for you. The sky is the limit. What advice do you have for a young man like you, growing up in America where there's turmoil, where there is so much happening, where there's uncertainty, where there's, there is tension, there is, police brutality, there is black on black crime. What do you tell somebody like you growing up? What advice do you have for a young man like you?
Well, something I would do is, with Sludge Group, I've learned to surround myself with positive people, positive influences to change my mindset and make me think harder or think better when it comes to any given situation.
That's awesome. That's the best advice ever. And Kayla, I know that you were born here in the US, and I know that you are from the Dominican Republic. And so you have, your family is, and I know you have that Latino flavor, as I shared with you. I'm from Panama. You speak Spanish, Kayla?
Yes.
Entonces hablas español. We're going to chop it up in Spanish now. So, para mi gente en Panamá, para mi gente en Santo Domingo, para mi gente en Centroamérica, para mi gente alrededor del mundo. Gracias por abrirme las puertas de su casa. Les agradezco de todo corazón. Y por favor, suscríbanse a mis canales para que me puedan ver siempre y puedan compartir conmigo. For all my people in Central, South America, and throughout the US and all over the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the love and support. I open my heart to you. I open my door. I open my house to you. Thank you for chilling with me and my amazing guests. I appreciate you. Please subscribe. Please, please, please subscribe to my YouTube page. I'm trying to build that platform, and I would love for you to be a part of it. I'm going to doing more things on YouTube, and you can be a part of my YouTube page by subscribing to Believe in Yourself with Claudette St. Rose on YouTube. And you can follow me on Facebook under Claudette St. Rose. That's one page. And you can also follow me on Believe in Yourself video with Claudette St. Rose on Facebook. Reach out to me if there is a topic that you want to see discussed on this platform. I am happy to bring it to you and get the people that can bring it to you the best way possible. I'm no expert, but I can find somebody that can chop it up and can bring you the information that you need. So if there's anything at all that you want to see, these young, amazing young people that came and gave it their all, if there's anything at all that you would like to see on this platform, reach out to me, comment, just, let me know, and I'm happy to bring it to you. So Kayla, going back to you, thanks everybody. So Kayla, going back to you, tell me, you go to the Dominican Republic, and tell me how is it there?
Well, first off, it is very hot. It is too hot.
It's very hot, like Panama.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Me and my curly hair, it's all frizzed up.
You're beautiful, whether your hair is frizzed up or not. You're still beautiful.
Thank you.
Remember that it's not about hair or anything about like that. It's about Kayla, the beautiful young lady I'm looking at. Okay?
Okay.
Not about your hair. So you have a good time when you go?
Yeah, because my dad's side of the family is over there.
Okay.
So, I see my cousins, we play, we hang out. I talk to my aunts. I haven't met my uncles yet, but I'm going to meet them next time I go over there. And, I just hang out with my grandmother as well. That's from my dad's side. And it's just fun. We go to the beach. We have fun there. And it's just so beautiful there. It's I wish I can go there all summer. But
I love the beach. So tell me, Kayla, are you thinking, I know it's still early because you're starting the 7th grade, so you still have, time to think about what you want to do. But have you thought about what you want to do, what you want to study, where you want to go? Have you thought about that?
yes,
Have you? Tell me what you
want
to do.
I want to major in criminal law, and I want to minor in business law.
Wow.
Awesome. My son minored in business law, and here is Earl. He's going to John Jay, so maybe you can too. Well, I have a daughter also. I have a daughter. I'll tell you about my daughter. My daughter's name is Maya Alexa. So Maya Alexa is starting her last year at Georgetown University.
Nice.
This is her last year, and she is finishing up. And so the sky is the limit. She always wanted to go to Georgetown, and she is there and doing amazing things, and so can you. And she's 20, and she's starting her senior year. She just turned 20 in March. She and I share the same birthday. So she just started her senior year. She's starting her senior year in September. So that's my Maya. She's another superstar like you and like Earl, because you're all superstars and you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Yes.
Right? So I'm also going to be following to see what you do with your beautiful life, because it's what you make of it. So finish this sentence for me, Kayla. When I see you again, I will have done so and so. How do you want to finish that sentence?
When you see me again, I will be in my dream school pursuing what I would want to do, what I love to do.
Wow.
Awesome. I love that. And Earl, finish the sentence for me. Same thing. When you see me again, I am going to be
in college working on the goals that I want to achieve.
awesome. I'm going to be following up with you, with Earl, with Michael, and with Deborah. So, Michael, we spoke about everything. We didn't touch on your family. Tell me a little bit about your daughters. I know you have daughters, and just give us a little bit of background into your personal life. Give us a peek into your window of your family.
We're very blessed for the children we have in our life. The youngest is 27, my Kia. That was Kayla's teacher, and she pursued education. My children grew up in Sledge Group, and I'm grateful for that. My oldest daughter, Tiffany, is a nurse, a RN, working for the Department of Health. Chanel's in Pennsylvania. She's a hospital administrator. And what I love about my children is they're giving back. They're from what they've seen their parents do, they have that heart of gold, just like Kayla and just like Earl. And they're very modest, both Kayla and Earl. I don't want to switch subjects, but Kayla will come to the boys group when it's over and hug me. And she gives up this strong hug. We hug in Sledge Group. It's about love. Earl received several regents that he passed in 11th grade, 10th grade. I was talking to his mom today. He graduated with honors in high school. What we teach.
Awesome.
Listen, both of them are being very modest, because I remember giving Kayla a trophy last June for improving her grades, and she was like a straight A student or B plus student.
Oh my goodness, Kayla.
And I mean, they're hiding it. She's hiding her face. But what you said, Claudette, in terms of the future and sky's the limit, they come from good stock. They come from good families. They have hearts of gold. We teach our children in Sledge Group to give back. And I don't want to get away from my children, which was the question. But it's a beautiful thing. We're not biologically attached, but the love is so strong. I shouted out to Kayla. I missed my hug because I haven't got a hug from her since COVID-19. But it's like, it's so much love that's given. And I'm not saying they don't get it at home, but it's nothing like when you have somebody to believe in you and you start believing in yourself. The title of your YouTube page, Believe in Yourself, the self-love. And you're right, sky's the limit. The possibilities are endless. I've been blessed, Deborah's been blessed to raise our children with a good heart. It's not so much what they do occupation-wise, it's the persons that they have become. And the mothers and the wives that they become that I'm very grateful for, and their belief in Almighty God, which is what we instill in the Sledge Group. We don't get locked and loaded in religion. We really press the spirituality and a holistic approach to reaching our community.
I love that. I am just in awe of both of you. I am. So this is for Deborah and this is for you, Michael. Are there any fears in your heart? Is there anything you fear?
Wait, Deborah.
I don't know that there's anything that I fear. I believe in a God that is awesome. I believe that who the creator is, I'm a part of. I don't have fears. There are challenges, and challenges are simply opportunities to grow, opportunities to learn. I don't have fear. I believe that somehow, our world is going to turn around, and we can walk with our heads up and not be concerned that we're going to be taken as criminals or just, target practice for anybody, rather it's on the street with police officer or rather it's in the corporate building. We're going to be accepted and acknowledged for who we are and what we bring to the table, which is all greatness. So I don't know that I have fears.
I love that. What about you, Michael?
I don't have any fears. I'm
You
a
don't
man
have
of
any
faith.
fears.
I'm a man of faith, and I have a lot
A man of faith. I have to tell both of you what I love about you, and this is my thought. I know that we as a people, we cannot make progress by standing on the sideline. We have to get involved. We have to be a part of. We have to make sure that if it's community based or whatever it is, you have to make sure that your voice is heard. You have to play a role. We all play a role in the lives of someone else. We all play a role in society. So it is important. It is your responsibility. And I'm charging you young people today. It is your responsibility to make sure that your role is important to the betterment of society.
That's right.
This is what I always told my kids.
That's right.
I laugh with my kids today because they said, well, not my daughter, because she got away with a little bit more than my son. But he would say, oh, Maya, you don't know, mom was tough. I really was. I mean, I did not cut him any slack, none, because he was not on my watch. He was not going to be a statistic or just anybody, not on my watch.
I'm going to share this because I'm watching Earl's face, right? and I love Earl's mother. I love her passionately. Earl would come home with 98s, 97s, 99s, and his mother would go nuts. And I remember talking to her like every report card, he comes home with nothing less than 97s. And she's like, Michael, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Earl. If he can get 97 and 98s, why can't he get 100? Right. And I believe that stern parent and that we only want the best for our children. And in Sledge Group, that's all we ask. Do your best, be your best, live with vision, live with purpose. Nothing can stop you from doing anything, especially fear can stop you from doing anything if you put your mind to it. But I want you to look at Earl's face when you talked about you and your son and being hard, because he couldn't help but start smiling and his eyes looked around. But we need that. We need someone to take us to the next level in life. And it doesn't stop with the youth. Absolutely. The adults, the young adults. I still need people to guide me and motivate me. It's a beautiful thing.
We all do. We all do. We all do. So in closing, I don't know, either Deborah or you, Michael, what do you have to say to this, to our community, to all of the young men and women out there? I mean, how can we encourage them? This is your platform, Michael.
I believe we need to pay attention. I believe we need to wake up. I believe we need to stop looking at this pandemic like it's a joke, and it's actually a spiritual time to reflect on yourself, to go inside of yourself and look at what you can change as an individual, readjust, reaffirm, rebirth, and then go out and spread it with your family and community. I get really tired of hearing in a lot of Zoom calls and calls that I'm on about the problems today. Sledge Group was born because my father and Deborah's father taught us something. You can't sit back and complain and not do anything. It is so easy. It is so easy to say what's wrong. Start your own nonprofit. Start a small group. Start with your family and make a difference. We have a saying in Sledge Group. We meet them where they're at and we take them where they need to go. And I'm grateful for the 20 years that we've been doing this, over 20 years that we've been doing this and watching these young people's lives develop. But my community, my people, my family, we need to wake up. We seriously need to wake up. We just had a call for 2 hours before this, Claudette, about self-love and self-respect. Your opinion of me is not my reality. It's how do I reflect on myself? Where's my own personal self-love? Where's my own personal self-respect? It really is about us and using this time as a vehicle to make some changes in our personal life to be better people. That's my message.
Absolutely. Thank you. Anything from you, Deborah, or you're good?
No, I do. Just want to add to it. If this pandemic hasn't showed us anything, it showed us that the Calvary is not coming for us, right? So we are on Calvary. And so it's a time for us, like Michael said, to reflect on what we need for ourselves and what we need for our communities. And joining together and making the difference that we want to see in our world and being that difference. Because nobody's coming to save us, right? Nobody's coming to save us. And if nothing else, we saw that in the pandemic. So it's time to, pick up the bootstraps and, each man take care of the other man, because the reality is that we're all connected, and I am your sister, just as I am Earl's sister and Kayla's sister.
Right.
We're all connected, and we all have to look at each other as that and come together as one so that we can be better as one.
Beautiful said. I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Michael for granting me the opportunity to talk to you. I want to thank you, Deborah. I know that I have a newfound friend in you and in Michael, and you guys can count on me. I want to thank you, Kayla, and I want to thank you, Earl. I want to just remind our people, all those 18-year-old people that just turned 18, and all those that are a little bit younger, please, please, please register to vote. Right. If you want to see change, you have to register to vote. Right. I want to thank you guys for coming on and spending an hour with me. It was very worthwhile and fulfilling. You young people, you don't know, what you do to me. But I just want to say thank you. And I want to remind you guys that you can, again, subscribe to my page, the YouTube page. You can find me at Believe in Yourself with Claudette St. Rose on YouTube. And you can also find me on Facebook as Claudette St. Rose. That's one page. And then the other page is Believe in Yourself Video with Claudette St. Rose. And I just want to close by saying that remember to find joy and gratitude where it exists. Thank you, thank you, thank you for gracing me and my guests with your presence and following me. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the consistent support. And we're just here giving you all the love that we need. And this is Claudette for Heart and Soul. Thank you. And I love you guys and appreciate all of you. Blessings to everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Give thanks.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Thank you. You guys were amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this, Claudette. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you guys. And we're gonna talk because I'm gonna donate to you guys. So we're gonna speak. I'm gonna be watching you, Kayla, and I'm watching you, Earl. Okay? Love you guys. And do what you need to do. Bye. Love you guys. Thank you, Deborah, and thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Bye.
Peace and blessings.
And this concludes our show, everybody. If there is anything that you'd like to see, reach out to me, Claudette St. Rose, and I'm happy to bring it to you, or bring someone who has more knowledge than I do to bring you what you're looking for. I love you guys. Continue to watch. Continue to follow me. Love you to pieces. My children, Maya and Gabriel, I don't know what I would do without you. You guys are my world. And all those people who support me consistently. Delphine, I love you to pieces and I appreciate you. Mark Olson, those flyers are the bomb. Love you. And all those people who stay in my corner, you know who you are, even though sometimes you're silent, but I appreciate you and I love you. Until next time, I'm out. Bye. Thank you.
Welcome.